This is Alan Karpick, very special edition of, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's a special edition of the Purdue Collectors Memorabilia Show. Two of the best people I know, best Purdue people I know, best people I know in the world. That's Tom Schott and Orlando Eiton. We could be sitting around having a cup of coffee or maybe a beer to get this figured out. But they are putting together a first ever event in the Purdue sports sphere, Purdue Collectors Memorabilia Show this Saturday, August 14th. 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the 4 Points by Sheraton. That's at 1600 Cumberland Avenue in West Lafayette. And I'm going to start with you, Tom. You've had the privilege of getting to know O all these years, and O's kind of the guru of all this. But tell us a little bit about what you're trying to get accomplished. And this is something that's kind of, I'm sure you guys have talked about for years about the opportunity to do something like this.
Well, you're exactly right. O is the guru when it comes to sports memorabilia, and not just Purdue, but certainly his beloved Cincinnati Reds. But I'm not sure how many years ago it was, or when we first I picked up a pizza and realized that he was a collector, similar to what I've been since I was a kid. I think we both probably started collecting about the same age, 10 or 12 years old. But certainly over the years, our friendship grew around Purdue sports. And one thing I learned during the pandemic, when you really couldn't do a whole lot other than stare at your computer, was that there are a lot of Purdue collectors. And I knew there were some, there weren't nearly as, or there were a lot more than I thought there were. Through social media, we learned that. And during one of our occasional lunch dates, so we said, why don't we try to put on a collector's show? These have been going on for years around sports all over the country. They used to have baseball card shows over in Lafayette years ago, but there's never been a Purdue collector's show, at least that we're aware of. And with our friend Eddie Keister, we thought, let's give it a try. We were able to get a room there at the ballroom at the 4 Points by Sheraton, and found a date kind of right before football season is underway, and there's been tremendous interest. So just kind of was a brainstorm over a lunch, and kind of evolved from there.
Orlando, and obviously anybody that's walked into your restaurant, and many people have in the Purdue world over the years, have seen the work that you've put together and the collection. But what are fans, and people that are interested, what are they going to see when they get there? What are some of the things that are going to be special parts of this?
Well, it's interesting because a lot of times people have come in and want to know, all my items, are you selling any of these? Well, things at the restaurant are pretty much my personal collection, but I've accumulated, so much extra items through the years. So we'll have a lot of my collectibles at the show, things I've put together for all these years of, all the way back, like Bob DeMoss and Bob Greasy and probably Drew. I got some items of Drew and some Rick Mount. And a lot of Johnny Wooden items. I had some extra duplicate items. So I thought I have a chance to take them out to the show and, sell a few so I can, buy a few more things to add to the restaurant, and then have a chance to trade some items and have some people have a chance to make their own little man caves.
Yeah. And that is an amazing part of this business that people are really, you never know. I mean, and you guys have both been collected stuff and looked at stuff. Does it surprise you sometimes, and I'll go to you, Tom, on what people are interested in, like a knick-knack or something that may not be a John Wooden piece, but it might be somebody else's. It's that may come up as a surprise in this type of an event.
Yeah, that's the great thing about collecting, is everyone can collect whatever he or she wants to collect. There are no rules to this. Some people are big into cards. Some people are big into autographs. Some people are big into game-worn items. It really runs the gamut. And I think we've got 15, 16 dealers. I hate to use the word dealer because we're collectors,
yeah.
We're dealers, but folks like Orlando and I who will have tables set up with stuff. And even if you're really not into collecting, but you're just a Purdue fan, I think you're going to see a ton of neat stuff that you may just want to kind of like going to a museum.
Exactly.
A museum of 15 or 16 different collectors. So would also welcome or invite people that maybe don't want to buy, spend money or buy stuff. That's not their thing. But just want to see some great Purdue pieces, because you'll see everything. And I'm excited, besides getting some of my stuff out there, just to see what other people collect and what they're trying to pawn off to other collectors. Because that's the great thing about collecting, is you have stuff in your collection that means a lot to you, but it may mean a lot to other people too. And there comes a time when you have to kind of pass that stuff along. And like Orlando, there's, you almost get addicted to this, and you end up with more stuff than you could ever display or use. And no one's retiring on this or becoming a multimillionaire. It's we're not selling museum quality pieces at this point. So should be a lot of fun. We've also got some special guest celebrities.
Talk about that, yeah.
By Stuart Schweigert coming to sign autographs, and he's as excited as anybody. He loves being around fans. As you know, Alan, the Purdue fan base means so much to him. And he actually said he may bring some stuff that he's collected over the years from his playing career just to show off, and people might want to see. So again, if you're not into collecting, you just want to see some neat Purdue stuff, this is a great opportunity on Saturday.
Ray Davis, and you're the Pied Piper. I think you have more relationships with former Purdue and current athletes, and they all come to you and your great venue. But obviously, we got Ray Davis, Lewis Jackson, some others that are going to be signing. Tell us a little bit about that. And that's just an added bonus of a touch that fans can have in that experience on Saturday the 14th.
Yeah, Rapheal Davis has his charity, and John Hardesty has put together. He is on his board, and he's going to bring the guys, and they're going to have some of the guys come over, and we're going to do some autographs with them and meet with the fans, and they're going to ask for just a small donation for Rapheal's charity. And I know the guys are looking forward to coming and help out, and I think we'll have more interest in this going further. Hopefully, after this first year, we'll look for maybe like to do another one in the fall to get some other players involved. But it'd be a great way to help his charity out. And he's done a lot. He's given a lot back to some of his basketball camps. And he's looking forward to coming in and spend time with the fans. So it should be an afternoon for, bring the family out. The kids can have fun. And, under 12, you get in for free. And, we might have a few, there might be a couple of giveaways. I might have a couple extra things for the kids. I always have some extra stuff. And I've always given away some cards to kids at the restaurant before. So they come by my table. I might have a couple of freebies for some people. So,
yeah, that's going to be, that's the thing. I'm going to ask both of you this question before we wrap up. What's the one thing, Tom, you were involved in getting the John Wooden jersey, as well, in terms of getting that done. What is the one, in your breadth of Purdue sports knowledge goes as deep as anyone's, Tom, but what is there an item that you would love to see that, that you might think would be readily available, but has never shown up, at least in your bailiwick?
Well, it's tough. Certainly, I've got a lot of items that Joe Tiller gave me from his personal collection when he retired, and always looking for Joe Tiller stuff. We had the NFF auction of Tiller items a couple summers ago. So I think most of his stuff is spoken for. But, anything of that, early 2000s, the Drew Brees to Kyle Orton era certainly means a lot to me, having worked closely with the program during that time. But I think we'd all love to see, the elusive Leroy Keys jersey or Bob Greasy jersey. Yeah. Never will. Our friend Chris Pate has a Rick Mount jersey, which is very unique on display. So it wasn't a thing to collect that stuff or save that stuff back in the 60s and 70s. O's got some nice 70s and early 80s jerseys from football primarily, but those are tough because they recycle them until they were almost in shreds, and most of the players from that era don't even have from that time. So that was one thing I thought Purdue, when I was there, and still to this day, could have and should have done a better job is saving some of these historical pieces because they are, one-of-a-kind items in a lot of cases. And there are things that are in Chris Pate's collection, Orlando's collection, my collection, that truthfully should probably be on display at Purdue, but there just hasn't been the appetite for that. And I know museums are kind of old news or yesterday's news, but I think there's still a faction of fans that love to see that stuff and just to hear and read the stories about those items. So, maybe someday, maybe this will be the start of spurring interest at something to be a Purdue athletics museum, because they really just don't do that other than the bowl trophies and NCAA tournament trophies and things like that. But there's a lot of good stuff out there in personal collections that Purdue would not have a difficult time getting people to donate if they knew it was going to be on display. And I think Orlando echoes those sentiments.
Yeah, I think, you look at that and you think about Rick Mount's jersey, you can remember those days where you go to JV games the following or freshman games and guys be wearing the number 10 jersey or after he played because they just recycled them. I mean, and that may have been the way it was, but I'm glad that even though in your time, some of the stuff that you've collected from that standpoint, that just makes it really unique. Is there one item that you would love that you have always been in search of that you haven't found? There's maybe not just one, but what would be a primary item that you would look at and say, boy, I'd love to find this from somebody?
Well, I think you go back, it's just like Tom said, is like a Drew Brees used jersey from his playing days, or even Bob Greasy. You never see. I have a Leroy jersey from when he played, but those Rose Bowl years, all those jerseys got recycled the following year. If you went over and watched freshman football, people don't realize, Purdue had freshman football games, had like JV games over on the practice field.
Or at West Side, remember they used to play at Leslie Field too. Yeah.
So all those dudes like Mike Phipps, all those jerseys got recycled, and I think the older basketball ones are like the Johnny Wooden jerseys, like amazing, because you never find anything from the '60s, much less from the '30s.
Yeah.
So we got something like that where that would be like a Rick Mount item or something, or some personal items, and I like to collect awards and things like that and different things, but that's pretty much all players' personal possessions. And, it's like Tom, I echo with Tom. It's too bad we don't have a capability of doing some type of museum over Purdue. Maybe we talked about it one day if they rejuvenated the end of the rest of the end zone at the football stadium to put some type of a memorabilia museum of Purdue athletics, all sports and things like that would be something. That's always a dream. I always enjoy moving. I'd love to have a place to put all my stuff in the restaurant, or Tom's collection, or Chris Pate has a huge collection, and we all complement each other very well. Everybody has their own different aspects of collecting Purdue items. So
yeah, I think it's one added bonus to this is it gets even the Lewis Jacksons and the Ray Davises and that age group to understand, and they are starting to understand because it's been 8 to 10 years since they played, that this stuff becomes important to people. And
everybody's a collector. You collect the bobblehead, you collect the ticket, you collect the ticket. So you got people have all kinds of stuff. Purdue collection, have a little man cave or a little cabinet or something. Everybody likes to put stuff in their office, and the diehard Purdue fans like to, proud to show off their items. They got certain players, and you're always a Boilermaker. Win or lose, we're always there to be behind the team or the players. And one nice thing about the Purdue family is after the guys graduate, they're still considered part of the family. I mean, they come back to visit. I'm glad to see some of the guys. Now we got guys bringing their kids back to school, and now they got their own kids, going to college here. Conzo's got a child going. Jeff Scanina's got one. You got Roosevelt's got one. I mean, it's amazing. You keep looking at the list of all these ex-athletes. They've got kids coming here to go to school now.
Yeah, it speaks well for what you want to develop in an athletic program, and it's always a work in progress, to be sure. All right, guys, it's the Purdue Collectors Memorabilia Show, Saturday, August 14th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., 4 Points by Sheraton. That's 1600 Cumberland Avenue. There's a admission charge at $5, 12 and under free, and really would be an interesting event. I think it'll be fun to do it. I think you're on the start of something big. $5,
so you're going to go right off the bat. You get a couple free autographs. So
that's right. So it's a break-even proposition. Hey guys, thanks so much for taking the time today.
And everything you guys do for Purdue athletics, appreciate it.
We enjoy it, and it's these are the kind of things that are a lot of fun. It's fun being around Purdue fans that like the intricacies of what we've all witnessed over the years, and that's a big part of why being in athletics and being around it's a lot of fun. So guys, have
friends do it together too with Tom and Eddie, so that's kind of the best part.
No doubt. No, you can't find better people. That's an important thing. All right, guys, thanks so much for your time, and we'll
Alan, thank you very much.
Thanks, Alan.
And we'll get the word out. Take care.
Saturday.
All right.